All righty, let's get this show on the road. Yes. How many of you are still waiting for dessert? We will get dessert to you. Oh yeah, right. You only get one dessert, not two, just to be clear. Welcome everybody to Chamber Evening. Welcome everybody watching on the live stream. My name is Ken Curtis. I'm the chairman of the event, and assisted by a whole bunch of other people that we'll be talking about a little later on. This is our 26th Chamber Evening. How many of you are first-time attendees? Raise your hand. All right, good. Well, we hope you're enjoying yourself. Let me tell you what's going on. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff here. Number one, you're sitting at a table with a name placard. You're welcome to take that name placard at the end of the evening. Don't take the metal stand. Take the name placard if you want to take that. And if someone takes the name placard and you really, really wanted it, send me an email. I'll print you another one. So that's fine. Also, these lovely centerpieces, yours to take at the end of the evening. And that means you can take them in the bowl as well. So you take the bowl, take the centerpiece. Don't take them right now, but you guys can decide among yourselves who at the table gets the centerpiece. I want to remind you again about parking validation. If you did not validate your parking, it's $25. There's a validator right as you're going to exit on the right-hand wall by the gift shop. There should be a person there hounding you to validate your ticket. It's $8 if you validate your ticket. And we all know how cheap divers are, so you want to pay the $8, not the $25. By the way, I want to compliment you as a group. This is probably the best dressed overall I have ever seen this crowd. Usually I'm the only guy wearing a tuxedo. We got like 12 tuxedos and all kinds of ball gowns. So give yourselves a hand because you dressed up nice. Now, I will admit a couple of you are dressed like schlubs. You might want to up your game next year, but I'm just saying. So what we're going to end up doing, we'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute, is we got prizes to give away. We have people to thank. As you may be aware, because I've been hounding everybody about it for 2 months, this is the 50th anniversary of the Catalina Hyperbaric Chamber. And I don't need a show of hands because most of you probably have not been diving 50 years. And just to be clear, I'm not as old as some of you think I am. I've not been diving 50 years as well, but I'm close. But the point is, for most of you in here, the entire time you've been certified, even if you're a dinosaur like me, there has been a Catalina Hyperbaric Chamber available if something goes wrong. And it is very easy to start taking that for granted. And that is why we are so pleased that you are all here tonight, that you've let me harangue you for the last couple of months by emails and public posts, because when we say the Chamber's there because of your generosity and your support, we really do mean that. So thank you all very much for being here tonight. We also want to thank our co-partners in this event, which is the Aquarium of the Pacific. Since the aquarium opened in 1998, I went and talked to then CEO Warren Iliff, and I said, we could do a really neat thing for the Chamber. We could do this Chamber evening thing, and it'd be really nice if the aquarium didn't charge us for it. And they don't. Now, we pay for the food, but if we were renting this facility, just so you appreciate the dollar values, it would run us with all the stuff we have them do. And of course, there's a Ken Curtis surcharge because I'm a pain in the ass about some of it. But it would run us about $15,000 or $20,000. So we really appreciate our association with the aquarium. The aquarium appreciates the association with the diving community because we have roughly 100 volunteer divers who help clean and keep this place going, and I'm one of those and happy to be here. And so with all that as prelude, that is why I want to bring up our DSO, which stands for Diving Safety Officer, Paul DeMeo, who would like to officially welcome you to the aquarium. And just to be clear, Paul wasn't aware we were live streaming this thing, so Paul, please come up and make your television debut.
Thanks, Ken. I'm going to stand on your stool.
Yes.
How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah? I hope you're all enjoying the aquarium. Hopefully you saw our new Southern California gallery. We have a lot of pride in that gallery. Also all the others. These lights are bright. Welcome. On behalf of the Aquarium of the Pacific, we want to welcome all of you here. We also want to thank you. As Ken said, it's because of all of you in this room that 365, 7 days a week, there is a hyperbaric chamber over there in case we need it. And the aquarium divers appreciate it, our field divers appreciate it, and I hope you guys too, especially those of you, there was quite a few of you who raised your hand as first-time attendees here tonight. Thank you. It's important you guys are all here. So thank you very much. I wish all of you the best of luck. There's a lot of raffle tickets in this bin tonight, this bin here. Good luck. And without further ado, I would like to introduce the man of the hour besides Ken, and that's Carl Huggins, straight from Catalina Island. Where is Carl? Come on up, Carl. Thank you, guys. Have a great evening.
Well, this is amazing. Again, it's always good to see everybody coming out to support the chamber and getting together and talking to everybody and just getting to know about the community that you're part of in the diving community. And like Paul said, you're part of the lifeblood keeping the chamber going because the county funds us for about 40% of our budget, and the rest we have to raise from fundraisers like this, the Avalon Underwater Cleanup, and classes that we teach. But the other blood for the chamber is in the volunteers that give their time to the chamber to come out, be on call, and if there's an accident, respond to that and help run the chamber and follow the directions of our hyperbaric physicians. So for all of you volunteers at the chamber, I'd like you to stand up. And if you're one of our doctors, stand up. And I'd like all of you to give them a big round of applause. All right, well, thank you again, and it looks like very good cheesecake. I might try to find a piece, but I'm going to turn things back over to Ken.
Whoops. Yeah, bad enough I got to stand on a goddamn box, now I trip on the stairs. I really used to be taller. This is the worst thing about getting older, but what are you going to do? You're going to shrink. So here's what's going on. Let me cross those off. So we're going to get to the raffle in just a second. The raffle is pick a prize. Now, for those people watching at home, we have about, I think, 55 people who signed up for the virtual chamber evening. You guys are in the raffle as well. And what happens is we'll pick a name. If your name is down there, I just call the name. If there's no name on the stub, I call the number. And we have David over here and Lindy's over there with microphones. Wait till the microphone gets to you. We will project onto the wall the prize list. You choose whatever you want. It's called Pick a Prize. If you start to dawdle and can't make up your mind, I do get to mercilessly hound you about it. For those at home, if we have a virtual winner, we sort of know who the virtual people are because we tagged the tickets for you and we know what those look like. If we choose someone who's a virtual attendee, you will get whatever the most valuable prize is available at that time. So that's the way that whole thing will work. We've also got the blind bid for the dry suit. We'll announce that a little later on in the evening. We're going to do about 4 sets of raffle prizes. At the end of the evening, and I haven't really mentioned this yet, we have the grand prize, which is, would anybody be interested in a free trip to the Philippines? I'm sorry to say I only got one. Oh, yeah, come on. But we do have a great donation from Atlantis Dive Resorts. They have 2 resorts in Puerto Galera and in Dumaguete, and I've been to both. They're fabulous. That'll be the last thing we do this evening. You must be present to win unless you're a virtual person, then obviously you don't have to be here. So that's what we're going to be doing. Before we get into that, we always use the Catalina underwater cleanup. How many people did the cleanup this year or the previous year? Number of people? That's always the kickoff for Chamber Day, Chamber Evening. And that means we use this as sort of the conclusion of the cleanup. And we have people from the cleanup who come present the check to Carl. So if I could bring up right now from Catalina Diver Supply, the man who said, I didn't know I was really going to have to talk about it a little bit, but he'll give you a little spiel about the cleanup. Please welcome, a.k.a. Scuba Zach Garanetta.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your dinner. Here's the final report on the Catalina underwater cleanup. We did 1 dive. 282 divers participated. That's so awesome. 1,376 and 27 pounds of debris taken out of our ocean. Isn't that amazing? About 2,179 pieces of this underwater debris that is just like lying down in our ocean. And then about 116 aquatic animals were saved during the event. So on behalf of Catalina Diver Supply and to all who participated in the Catalina underwater cleanup, I would like to present this check to Carl Huggins.
Carl's busy with his computer. I'll take it.
Thank you so much for everyone who supported the underwater cleanup. Good night.
Thank you, Zach. This is one of those nights we've been having technical issues. Carl is buried in his computer, but I promise you if there's anything in this envelope, we'll make sure he gets it. Okay, so this brings us to raffle number 1. We're going to do 5 raffle items. Carl is working on his computer that we have it up, so if this doesn't work, we're going to have a little bit of a problem, but we'll hope it works. So once again, we'll be calling out names, and the lovely Clara Johnson over here. I know you guys can't see her from there, and get this out of your system now. Just say, shake it up, reach down deeper. She's actually been practicing reaching all the way into the bottom of the bin. So I assure you, this is on the up and up. And unlike, like people who accuse the election of being rigged, this is not rigged. I'm not just calling out the names of my friends. If I happen to win anything, it's a coincidence. No, my name's not in there. All right, let's get going. We're going to do 5 prizes right now. Number 1. We actually have, we do have a name. Oh, I know who this is. This is someone who's actually on our committee. Now, just because he's on the committee doesn't mean the fix is in. Just because I told him I'd call his name regardless. No, from the Antelope Valley Desert Divers. See, now there's 20 people going, ooh, maybe it's me, maybe it's me. Robert Wisdom. Now, Robert, Lindy's coming over there with the microphone. You guys can all see, here's the way this works. You can all see up on the board, and you at home hopefully see it on your computer. Everything, all 18 prizes, we are going to, whatever he takes, we eliminate them. Hopefully, the whole list does not get renumbered or we're really screwed, but we'll see what's what. Robert, what would you like?
The Chamber Eve quilt, please.
Whoa! Now, I will tell you 2 things about this quilt. Number 1, the person who made it, Sid Yonker, is down there. Sid's sort of giving a half wave. But the other thing, Sid makes these quilts for us every year. But the cool thing is Marilyn Lawrence, stand up because they can't see you from there. And I don't have my box. I need my box here. That's Marilyn in front of Blue Cavern. She this year donated like 30 Chamber Evening shirts, and Sid put them together in the quilt. So anyhow, that's very good. All right, that's number one. Number two, our next winner is from Hollywood Divers. Now we got 10 people going, ooh, maybe it's me, maybe it's me. Brad Crocker. Brad, where are you? And we need you when I call your name, stand up because they got to come find you with the microphone. Brad, where are you? Oh, down there. Lindy, that's you. So, Brad, you're right there by one of the big things. What is, oh boy, Lindy's brave. The first thing I learned, I have actually had a broadcasting career. You never hand off the microphone. Brad, what do you want?
I'm going to go with the Dan safety.
Whoa,
Yeah.
the Dan Rescue Pack.
And go Hollywood Divers.
And go Hollywood Divers. Now, Brad, I just want to make sure you're not going to self-administer. You don't have like a little pain in the shoulder or anything like that. All right, very good. The Dan Rescue Pack. Number 3. I'm surprised you guys aren't just jumping with the most expensive thing up there. Very good. All righty. I love the fact you guys write your names on here. From the Sundiver, it pays to be captain. I'm not talking Ray. There's a different captain today. Ruby Smith. Where's Ruby? Sundiver's over here somewhere. Ruby, stand up. Oh, stand up. Stand up. Her dress is falling off. Stand up.
Thank you.
All right, slow down. Take a breath. This is when she goes, I've never won anything in my life. Take
I've
a breath.
never worn a
What
dress
would you like?
before. The Garmin Descent.
The Garmin Descent computer. Now, I have to tell you, we have it.
Okay.
We don't just have it. It was shipped to the wrong place, so we will get it. We will get it to you. Boy, she fell for that, didn't she? No, we will. They shipped it. So it'll probably take us a couple of days, but we'll get it to you. So Ruby, make sure before you leave, either see me or back there at the table, make sure we've got an email address and stuff like that for you. Okay, that was number 3. Number 4, we're doing 5. Yeah, Clara just said we need that side of the room. The woman who's picking out the tickets is complaining that you guys aren't getting anything. Let's see if I face this way. If I face this way, maybe it'll work. Well, it won't, because I know where these guys are sitting. Pacific Wilderness. Ooh, they have 2 tables, 20 people now. I'll tell you who the winner is not. It's not Jeff. He owns a goddamn dive shop. You get whatever you want. But how about Tracy Stahl? Where's Tracy? Right there, right in front. Tracy, what would you like?
The Sherwood Wisdom computer.
Tracy,
Sherwood
you have to
Wisdom.
actually speak.
Sherwood Wisdom. It's
the
not
Sherwood
mine.
Wisdom computer. Very good. Number 4. Off it goes. I got one more thing to give away. Clara's shaking everything up. She's reaching down to the bottom. She's hoping to get the other side of the room so she doesn't get lynched or anything. All right, this one's going to be fun. No name. Only a number. Here we go. We hopefully gave these things out to you guys sequentially. 05108. 05108. And just so you know, we get impatient, so we don't wait that long. 05108. Hang on, we may have, well, there we go, right down here. This is at the Sherry Griswold table.
What? No, do you want anything?
What would you like up there? He's negotiating with his seat partner.
Yeah, I'll do the aqua lung. Number
You
1.
take the Aqualung Legend MBS regulator. Congratulations. All right. That's 5 things. Let me put these down here. We have a lot of people to thank tonight. It takes a little while. We appreciate your patience. So we're going to thank, first of all, the people that got all this started, which are the boat guys. I mean, that's how the event started in 1989 with Chamber Day. So let's take a look at all the boat people that were here. Big thanks to all of them, because it is how this all got started. We're going to start off with the Giant Stride. We give you the caveat, they actually don't run the trip until July, but we're very glad that they're here. The crew is Emma Stadelman, the captain, Jim Zimmerman. Now, Jim begged me to use this picture, but I like this picture of Jim better. Jim, stand up. Somewhere there. There we go. Big hand for Jim, please. We had the Liberty going out today. It's a free diving boat. The crew and DM, Tim McDade. Captain Nick Cowing. Nick, are you over here somewhere? Clap for him anyhow. We'll tell him he got a standing ovation. Pacific Moon. We actually combined the Pacific Moon and the Pacific Star today, but we're going to recognize them separately anyhow. The crew would have been Sonia Harvey and Ethan Roberts. DM with Jim McDougall. There we go. Captain Dave Harvey with the lovely Sonia there who keeps him in line. Dave, stand up. Sonia, you can stand up too. And there's Sonia. There we go. Now on the sister ship Pacific Star, where everybody ended up, Maxwell Harvey and Puerto Rico. Not Puerto Rico, but Puerto Rico were the crew. DMs Elwood Harvey, Sean Meyer, Dylan Villagorana, and Merrick Walski. And the captain, Jacob Harvey. Jacob here? Well, I can't pronounce it. What can I tell you? SoCal Diver, new boat to the area. Crew and DM, I'll never pronounce this. Awi Lu, close enough. Captain Dave Tedesco. Dave, you're here somewhere? Where's Dave? Give him a big hand. We'll tell him he got a standing ovation too. Sun Diver. DMs, Ray Arnst, Nikki Creedon. And the captain, the award-winning Ruby Smith. Ruby, stand up. There's Ruby over there. She's going, man, I won something and they're making me stand up and applaud. This is great. Sundiver Express. Crew was Najee Suarez. I hope I pronounced that right? I've been practicing all day. And the captain, Kaya Heller. Kaya here? That's the boats. We thank you all very much and we appreciate it. There we go. Well, there's Kaya. There we go. We also want to let you know, Carl spoke about the volunteer crew. He's going to talk a little later on about the history of the chamber. But we also like you to hear from the crew as well. So we actually had them record some little videos. And I want you to pay attention right now, watch the board, and get a couple of words from Mike Madden. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Mike Madden. I'm one of the volunteer supervisors out at the Catalina Hyperbaric Chamber. I joined the chamber crew in 2003 and have been a supervisor since 2008. My first experience with the chamber was when I was transported by Baywatch over to the chamber with my dive buddy because my dive buddy was having issues and I was an eyewitness to her problems. To make a long story short, she was checked out by Baywatch and given a clean bill of health, and while they were doing that, I had the opportunity to talk with the chamber crew and talk about the chamber and the volunteer program. I subsequently signed up for a chamber class and joined the crew soon after. While on crew, I've had the opportunity to work with a great group of people from all walks of life and all sorts of diving experiences. We work with a fantastic group of professionals from LA County Fire Department, Baywatch, the Coast Guard, LA County Sheriff's Office, and the folks at the LA County USC Medical Center. I've learned a lot about diving and diving physiology, and it's certainly made me a better diver in the process. And I know for a fact, from my own experience, that this facility, the emergency response system we have in place for diving accidents, and those of you out there supporting the chamber, really do make a difference in the lives of the divers that come through our facility. I miss seeing all of you out at the chamber today, and I will miss our evening at the Aquarium of the Pacific for Scuba Prom. But I hope I will see you out at the chamber next year for next year's Chamber Day. Thank you again for your ongoing support of the Catalina Hyperbaric Chamber.
And to be clear, when Mike says he'd like to see you out there next year, he means as a visitor, not as a patient. Just to be clear about that. Raffle time number 2. We got 5 more things to give away. I know you want them. Let's get Clara up here. And here we go. List will be back up on the board in just a second. Clara has reached in and presented me with, name written down, sitting at Eco Dive Center, number 4, Kelch. Oh! There we go. What would you like?
I don't know. What do you want me to get?
Could you say that so we could actually hear it?
No, I'm not getting e-learning. Number 10, the Atomic Z2 regulator.
Atomic Z2 regulator is going to Kelch. Very good.
No, I already
Next.
have one. Thank you.
We have another one with a name on it. Oh, now again, our first winner was a committee member. Our next winner is a chamber volunteer. I don't want you to shower him with booze just yet. You can in a minute. We'll see what he takes. Steve Rogers. Stand up there, Steve. We'll get a microphone to you in a second. David's making his way over there. You got to stand up. I was going to say, don't tell me you are standing up. You're holding up what, 2 fingers? What do you got?
Number 2.
There we go. Number 2. The Halcyon Infinity 40 BC system. Congratulations. Next, Clara's reaching down deep. Whoops. I'll take them both. She handed me 2. I'll take them both. So the first one, God bless you all for writing down your names on here. From GUE, it looks like Grahal. It could be Graham. Your handwriting sucks, but it could be Graham. That would be good. Is there a Graham, and are you a cracker? Yes. That's too easy. Too easy joke. What do you want?
Give me number 7, the
Number
Mark
7,
11
Scuba
regulator.
Pro Mark 11 regulator. Fabulous choice. Fabulous choice. All right, our third one of this 5. This one's going to be fun. I don't know how well you got. Well, actually, I'll hold it up. Jade, put the camera back on me for a second. Just so you can see, I don't know if you can tell, there's a white sticker on there. So that sticker tells me that's the way we stickered the virtual people. So this is one of our virtual winners. So she is going to get the top prize. It is Gina Boster, B-O-S-T-E-R. So she's going to get the OTS Guardian full face mask. That's the way that works. Don't boo her. She's sitting at home. You people are real. It's a tough crowd tonight. All right. Dress you up and the knives come out. Here we go. 2 more to go. At the AVD table, Paul Vargo. Paul, here's Lindy. He's all the way on the other side. Oh, stretch that mic over there.
Number 9, please.
Number 9, the Aqualung i330R dive computer. It comes with a 2-gauge console. Very good. One more to go in this batch. Man, you guys are doing great writing your names down. From the Pacific Wilderness table, Randy Branham. There's Randy. Stand up, Randy, so they can come find you. Oh, yeah. What do you want, Randy?
The 4th Element title robe. 15.
Very good. And again, see me at the end. We don't have it in-house, but that way you can pick color and size, and we'll tell you how that's all going to work. So that's very good. End of raffle number 2. That's a good job. We want to take a second here to acknowledge our logo artist. The logo, art by committee is really tough to do. And we've worked with a bunch of different artists over the years, and it's just hard at times doing that. But I want to show you what we came up with, the evolution of our logo this year. We started off the Chamber Day logo. You've seen most of these. We got the turtle swimming up there and little kelp in there and everything else. We've got the Chamber Evening logo, which obviously is what's working tonight. We have up here on the podium as well. And the one that was the toughest this year for us was the Flying Dutchman logo. Man, we kept moving those skeletons all the way around and upside down and on the boat and tattering the sails and whatever. So It is a long process, but we appreciate the fact that Julie Aguilar puts up with us all the time to be able to do that. So a hand for Julie. She's not here tonight, but she will appreciate it. All right. So we've given away half of the prizes. We've given away some of the other good stuff. We got good stuff to go. But part of the idea tonight is also to give Carl a chance to talk to you guys. And like we said, this is the 50th anniversary of our chamber. In the history of this chamber for 50 years, there have been exactly 3 directors of the chamber. Andy Pillmanis was the first, Ron Ryan was the second, Carl is the third. Carl has been in this job since 1992, so 32 years. So I think that's pretty incredible. Really, it's 2/3, 60% of the time this chamber's been open, Carl has been there. So he's going to come up. He'd like to talk to you a little bit about the history of the chamber, maybe tell you a couple things you don't know about. So please welcome once again to our podium that, yes, it has a big thing for me to stand on, so I appear taller. That's the way it goes. Please welcome Carl Huggins again.
No, I can stand on it and show how much taller than you I am. All right, so we can switch over to, yeah. Okay, just thought I would give you some information about how the chamber program started out there and talk a little bit about the early days of the Marine Lab. And in the late 60s, the Wrigley family deeded over the Big Fisherman Cove area to USC to put in a Marine Lab. And so in the early days, this is what it was. You have the Marine Lab there, you have the dive locker at the waterfront, you have a ramp going into the water, and a big slab of cement. And so the slab of cement was put there for the Navy. The Navy was building a hangar there. This is what it looks like now. A lot more activity, a lot more buildings. But back then, it was really remote. The reason the Navy was putting the hangar there was because they were testing this submersible called the Beaver 4. And they built a railroad track to go down in the water, and that's how they let the Beaver in. They put it down and pulled it back up on the rails. And then in those early days, we had Andy Pillmanis, who was a young physiology major. He was doing doctoral work out there, and he was very interested in diving physiology. And so he was working with all the scientific divers there, helping to train scientific divers that were going through the program. And this is what diving looked like in the early 70s. In the early 70s, there was also a day they looked out and saw this huge ship out in the harbor. And this was the Glomar Explorer doing trial runs for its pickup of a submarine, Russian submarine, and they were doing all the operations there to put the big claw onto the ship. And at that time, one of the divers at the facility ended up getting bent. Now let's see if this will work. And so what I wanted to do is just run a presentation that Andy did a couple years ago talking about the early days of the lab. So,
well, at the time I was doing some of my research dives, and the fellow there got the bends. I had no chamber. There was no chamber in LA at that time, but I knew there was a chamber on the barge. So we got in a skiff and went over to there and said, "Hey guys, can you treat?" And after some language that I can't repeat, they said sure. And I went in with the subject with my bubble detector, and I think that was the first time I recorded bubbles going away during compression, which was really kind of cool. Anyway, we treated him there, and I came back and I said, "That's it. I've been wanting to get a chamber for a long time for research, not for treatment, but for research." And I said, this gives it the second reason. And so I started calling around, intending to get a small 54-inch standard kind of chamber. And it went to Pat Meehan, who called the flight surgeon at Lockheed, who said, sure, I got a chamber you can have. And he called me and said, hey, we've got a free chamber. Oh, wonderful, terrific. Thinking, you know. And lo and behold, over came 24 tons of steel. And they had to take it out of the basement. So Bechtel Corporation and Fluor Corporation did all that as a donation and trucked it down to San Pedro, where they painted everything and they built a skid for the compressor. And then Pacific Tow and Salvage brought it over. They donated a day of their time, and they put it. They built these wheels on to fit the rails, and put it on the rails and said, "See ya." And so you got to realize we're a bunch of physiologists with zero heavy equipment expertise, but it was really pretty simple. We pulled it up, and then Bob Gibbons Oscar was sitting on that thing, and it was in the way, and we couldn't go in. So had to pull it in catty corner with come-alongs and jacks. We didn't use anything motorized; everything was hand tools, and we placed it where it sits right now. And then actually, it was harder to bring the skid up. And the reason was that there was asphalt over there. This thing weighed 7 tons. And so we had to put steel plates down. And again, using jacks and come-alongs, got it to where it sits now.
Did the first Occupy dive at the lab in July and officially opened in 1974. With the support of the county, because the county found out about the chamber and said, we will fund you if you provide service for anybody who has a problem. And the very first treatment was the week afterwards. And just to give you a little bit of taste about the first treatment, how many of you have heard of the name Dr. Thomas Noguchi? He's coroner to the stars, one of LA coroners that basically had a lot of publicity with him. So first treatment, we had a diver in full arrest being brought in from Santa Barbara Island. They got compressed in the chamber to 165 feet or 6 atmospheres. They found you want to make sure that you take the defibrillator out of the chamber before you compress it, because you know cathode ray tubes, it imploded. They brought the patient up to 60 feet. Doctor locked in, and unfortunately, they pronounced the patient dead. Instead of bringing the body up, Noguchi said, keep it under pressure. I don't want any bubble formation to obscure autopsy results. So he flew out to the island, got pressed in the chamber, and performed a partial autopsy on the patient and pulled out the heart and said, here's the blockage. This was a heart attack. It was not an air embolism. And so that was one of the unique things about this chamber is you see a lot of strange things. And it's the only chamber I know of that an autopsy was performed in on the patient. So just some numbers. So we've been in service for 50 years. During that time, we've evaluated about 1,160 divers. Not all of them need to be treated. 754 have been treated, majority for decompression sickness, but quite a few cases of air embolism as well. Back when we were the only chamber in the area, we did a lot of retreatments. Then in 1985, Northridge opened up, and then some of the other mainland chambers started opening up that would take the mainland patients and the retreatments from our facility. And we do get patients that are brought in that don't require treatment, some underlying medical problem, some other type of issue that doesn't require recompression. The most we've ever treated at once in the chamber was 4. So we had 4 patients, we had 4 tenders, and a nurse. and that basically maxed out all our masks inside. We had one year, in 1983, we had 43 patients brought in for initial treatments. Like I said, some patients need follow-up treatments, and the previous year there were 93 divers, or 93 treatments that were done, and that was a lot of repetitive treatments. So what we do nowadays, we do a lot of tours, a lot of training classes, orientation dives. So if you're interested in getting a group together, we can do an orientation dive to 165 feet if you'd like. We do a lot of support for recreational divers, scientific, all the divers in the area we provide support for. And so we even support the spacesuit testing and at SpaceX when they're doing pressurization. If there's a rapid depressurization, there's a potential for embolism. So we're called to see if we're available in case something happens. I got involved back in the early 80s when I was working for a company at back east called Orca, working on edge dive computers. And so I got the bid from Catalina, which was the best one, came out, did testing of the edge dive computer with chamber volunteers. So that our guinea pigs were volunteers at the chamber at the time, and we then listened for bubbles following the dives. And then this is just me looking into the chamber very, very many years ago. One thing you might not know is that in the 1980s, they were looking at putting a habitat off of the lab, and that the chamber program would be supporting it. And unfortunately, it ended up going to the Virgin Islands and then to Florida, where you might know it now as the Aquarius habitat. And so that was initially slated to go right off our dock at the Marine Lab. One of the things we do nowadays is each year we work with Scuba Diving Magazine on their dive computer tests. So we see how the dive computers respond to the same profile year after year to see which is the most conservative, which is the most liberal of the algorithm. So you can make the decision as to what risk you want to take when you dive. We work with other departments, other agencies. One of the fun ones we had was what's called a Hyperlight the Coast Guard had. And this is a small chamber you can pressurize in the field, move to a larger chamber, and then remove the diver into the larger chamber under pressure. So you're not bringing them back up to the surface pressure and increasing their risk of more problems. And then this one was when the lifeguards were looking at automatic CPR devices. And let me try this and I'll see if this works. Oops, no. That didn't work. But if you can click on the center image, see if that video runs. Okay. All right. So they evaluated in their chamber because we will see patients brought into our facility in full arrest. Unfortunately, these devices are not rated to be put under pressure. So once they arrive, we then have to go to manual compressions for these types of divers. And then this is our luckiest patient that we had. Basically, diver at the underwater park hits the surface, goes unconscious, Baywatch Avalon picks him up. He's in cardiac arrest. They start advanced cardiac life support. He's in VFib, so they try to shock him on the way to the chamber. They shock him 5 times, but they arrive flatline. Transport time, 62 minutes. What do you think they would do if a person ended up at an ER with that type of history? Probably pronounced, but because he'd been diving, was put in the chamber, pressurized down at 140 feet, started getting a weak pulse, started getting stronger, started breathing on his own. He left comatose, went to Northridge. They had multiple treatments afterwards, and 2 weeks after the accident, walked out of the hospital without any residual problems. And so that's the reason why we are very aggressive in treating divers that are brought in full arrest. So, I'd like to thank you all once again for your generous support of the Chamber, and thank you for coming here tonight, and hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Big hand for Carl Huggins, please. Thank you. We're going to give away some stuff. So get your tickets out. And Clara, pull me a ticket. And she's shaking it up. She's reaching down deep. She's looking for the one with her daughter's name on it. No, okay. Any night now would be fine to hand me the ticket. Okay. She's just trying to make sure they're mixed up. This is no table name, but the name is on here. Captain Dalton. Oh, look, it's that side of the room finally. David, make your way over there if you would.
All right. Well, it's my husband, but he snoozes. I still get him the ultralight gift certificate.
Ultralight
please.
it is. Off we go. Next one.
Perfect.
Also has a name. From, it looks like, Martin Carrion. Oh no. Where's Martin? There he is. Martin, what would you like?
Number 6.
Number 6 it is, the Tusa DC Solar Wrist Computer. We're only doing 4 this round, by the way. A guy who used to be one of my dive masters, Ethan Roberts. I knew you when you had hair. You knew me when I was taller. That's right. What do you want, Ethan?
Let's go for 12.
Number 12, the Stephen Holman artwork. Stephen is a local artist. Stephen, are you, where is Stephen? Stephen, stand up real quick if you're around. Anyhow, a lot of his work is, oh, there's Stephen, way over there. A lot of his work has been exhibited at the Zen Dive Company and in a gallery downtown, so it's cool stuff. Last one this go round. We have, see, this is a smart person. They brought little stickers of their own. It is the smallest type I've ever seen, so I can't possibly read the name. No, I can. He's also a good friend of mine, Glenn Sudd. Glenn, what would you like? What? Stall sack bag it is. Very good. That's it for the moment. We did one too many there. We got 3 left, no problem. We want to do some other, these aren't that quick, but we need to do some other thank yous. Jay, punch me up with the Dutchman here. Flying Dutchman, again, it's our fake boat. And I really did get a call again this year. Somebody asked me, where does it leave from? But anyhow, we ended up with 115 people as of this morning on the Flying Dutchman. We'll leave that open for another a week or so. And that's your roster, what you see there on the right, that's up on the website at www.chamberday.org. Chamber Challenge. This is sort of going to give you a preview of where we're going to end the evening. Now, number 1, we want to recognize a bunch of our donors. We have gold level donors, $1,000 to $499, which we appreciate. The platinum donors, $5,000 or more. A number of those people, a lot of those in memory of. We have 2 diamond donors, $10,000 or more. Actually, each of these gives $10,000. Beach City Scuba, down there. And Antelope Valley Desert Divers over there. And we were asked last year to create a level above 10,000. I went, God, my God, I don't know if we're going to get it, but what we did. Now, Carl and I debated what to call the thing, and every element that was more valuable than diamond were things we've never heard of. So I made something up. Carl hates this name. It's Chamborium. And that is for donations of $15,000 or more. And we have 2 donors, the aforementioned Glenn Sudd, who is sitting here, and the Sherry Griswold Foundation over here, who is our largest individual donor as a foundation. They give us a total of $20,000 every year, and they don't dive, but they support people who help other people, and that is the definition of what our chamber does. So here's how the challenge has gone. In 2000, we did a little over 30,000. 2010, 48,000. 2020, 89,000. Last year, the challenge alone did 130,535. I'm going, there's no effing way we're matching that this year. And I got to tell you, we didn't match it. We exceeded it. How about, as of this morning, $141,675. That's just astounding, astounding. So we thank you very much about that. We have one more thing we want to get into right now. I told you we want to hear from some of the chamber crew, and we also have a tradition here at Chamber Evening that every year we recognize and remember some of the divers who are no longer with us since our last Chamber Evening. So right now, we'd like you to hear from Chamber crew, and we're also going to remember some of those folks. Jay, go ahead and roll it.
Well, hello there. My name is Wade McDonald. I was born in Torrance, California, and grew up in Long Beach, California, and grew up on the ocean. Just had a fascination and love for the Pacific Ocean since I was, before I could even walk. A good friend of mine, Ted Sharshan, got me interested in the Catalina Hyperbaric Chamber. I had heard so much about the chamber. I wanted to get involved. I wanted to see how I could be of service, involved in the diving community in Southern California. I heard about Carl Huggins, got to go out to the chamber, got to go through training, got to meet Carl. Carl is probably one of the most patient, kind people I've ever met in my life. Everybody there at the chamber works as a team. It's teamwork, and I just love being a part of a system like that that gives back to the diving community and is available 24/7 for diving casualties. I'm Wade McDonald, and that's my 60 seconds.
Every year, some of our scuba friends leave us for one reason or another. A tradition at Chamber Evening is that we remember some of those who passed since we last gathered here. Please watch as we honor 13 of them who have made their last dive.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds are white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Thank you.
The dream that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
Hi, I'm Sid Yonker. I've been volunteering with the Chamber Crew for about 8 years in 2 stints. I originally got into volunteering with the crew when I was living there in 2 Harbors, and I did so I could help divers when they need to be treated, as well as so I could learn more about decompression illness and its treatment. I returned to volunteering because I saw the need to keep the chamber open, and having crew there allows the chamber to be open 24/7 and therefore available when people need it. It also helps me because I get to keep learning, and that's always a good thing. So thank you for your support in keeping the chamber open and running as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. We're in the home stretch, believe it or not. A bunch of thank yous, a raffle, and here we go. As I look at my computer, Jay, go ahead and call that up. This is a chance for you to cheer for yourselves because it's all the table sponsor thank yous. That'll appear up there in a minute. Hang on, give us a second. And here we go. All right, our table sponsors, and we couldn't do this event without you guys and gals. We have a shared table, which I think is over here this way, from scuba.com and the American Legion Yacht Club. And you're supposed to cheer for yourselves. Just get your energy back up. Single table sponsors. We've got the California Science Center Dive Team. We've got Dive and Surf. There is a prize for cheering the loudest. Dive 949 Dive Club. They're new this year for us. Giant Stride. Hollywood Divers. Liquid Adrenaline Divers. It's all alphabetical order, by the way. Ocean Gear. New table sponsor this year. Reef Seekers Dive Company. Oh, come on, it won't kill you to clap for my store. The Sherry Griswold Foundation. South Orange County Dive Club. There you go, that's what I'm looking to hear. Sun Diver International. Who filled multiple tables? Well, good question. 2 table sponsors, 2 tables that is. We have Antelope Valley Desert Divers, Beach City Scuba, Global Underwater Explorers, Into Deep Diving, Pacific Wilderness Dive Team, Patty is here again, which we appreciate. Signature Scuba. 3 tables. That would be Zen Dive Company. And 1 4-table sponsor who bails us out with that 4th table every year, Eco Dive Center. Ron begs me for the 4th table every year. I always say no, and then at the end I say, Ron, can you please fill the 4th table? And they do. Virtual table sponsors. We have, I don't remember if I automated this or not. Yes, I did. A whole bunch of people. I'm not going to bother to read through all of them, but we really do appreciate the virtual table sponsors. We appreciate those of you watching through our live stream. And like I said, we had about 55 people or something like that signed up for the live stream, so we absolutely thank you all very much because, if you can't be here in person, happy to have you here through the magic of a computer. I think that's the end of that. I need to go to that. Yes, these are the thank yous. Chamber Day 2024 committee. We have about 26 people on the committee. These are the committee members. It ain't just me. If you're a committee member, wave your hand, stand up, cheer for yourselves, whatever. Please give the committee members a big hand. We really do work on this event for 6 months. We start in December. We also have a stuffing committee. That's how you get the envelopes with the stuff in it. We stuff them at my place. Susie Horowitz, Marilyn Lawrence, Betsy Suttle, me and Oliver. Betsy and Marilyn are back down there. Oliver is our, oh, by the way, I've got to mention, Marilyn and Betsy are absolutely my right hand and left hand people, and without them, a lot of this just doesn't happen. So I appreciate that they've put up with me, believe it or not, for 30 plus years. And Marilyn's dog puts up with me too. The dog is really keeps us going. And you can see when he's there watching us, he supervises. Some nights we just wear him out, and he just, that's the way he goes. The bankers tonight, Marilyn, Shirley, and Betsy back there at Blue Cavern. The prize procurers, Rusty Berry from SSA, Clara Johnson from Signature, me, and DJ Mansfield from Beach City Scuba. Thank you all. Our aquarium divers volunteering tonight. Wave your hands and stuff like that. We know it's getting late, so I'm rushing through all this. But we appreciate everybody helping out. Our technical support staff, Jay, Derek, Clara, and Clara's daughter, Bowie, who's actually sitting inside the theater going like, man, I hope we get to go home soon. You will. Chamber Day 2025, next year. Always looking for new blood. The idea of this is it's a transparent event. We want to be very transparent with you, and we welcome anybody who's willing to put in a little bit of work. So happy to have you. Let's give away the final stuff. And then we got one more person we want to hear from, and then we get to the really good stuff. We got 3 prizes to go. We're going to pull out 3 winning names or numbers. But I love the fact we got all the names on here. Oh, there's another one. Oh, wait a minute. This one's a stamp. You dive good. It could be just about anybody, couldn't it? Good is spelled G-U-D. Whose is that? Oh. At least you're wearing a tie. And he does. He brought his stamp. All right. Here we go. Hang on. David's right behind you. Oh, and he's checking with you. Is that your wife or your girlfriend? Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
So what does she want?
She wants the Fourth Element duffel bag.
She wants which now? The Fourth Element? Did you say?
Yes.
Okay. Fourth Element duffel bag. That's another one. We don't have it in hand because we want you to be able to pick color for that. So we'll get with you. Come see me before you leave. 2 to go. 2 e-learnings. We're gonna make a couple of you smarter divers. See, I said the cool thing would be if the only thing left is an SSI e-learning certificate and one of the Patty people wins. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see. All right. So the first one. So now listen to what I just said. If the only thing left is the SSI one, we have an interesting conflict. Jessica M.G. from the Science Center Divers. Where's Jessica? Is she here? No, she's there. Oh, she's all the way up top. Oh, way up there. Jessica, can I talk you into taking the Patty e-learning course? You give me a goddamn Would you rather have the SSI e-learning course? You'd rather have the SSI. You're insulting the Patty people by saying, no, I don't want yours. I'm taking the SSI. That's not a problem, Jessica. And just a note for the Patty people, I'll be sending you Jessica's where she lives and her contact information. So, all right. So now I'll set up the next best thing. So the only thing we have left is a Patty e-learning course, and I am hoping Michael Jansen's name is on this because that would be interesting, but it is not. It is from Sundiver International, Casey Bryce. Casey, would you be interested in a Patty e-learning certificate? Because that's all I got left. All right. That's it for the raffle. I want to give you one more thought from a couple of chamber crew, and then we got a check to give to Carl, and then we got a grand prize to give to you. Jay, roll me the tape, please. Keep an eye on the wall.
My name is Mike Peterson, and I've been a chamber volunteer for 2 years now. What initially attracted me to volunteering at the chamber was the opportunity to spend more time on Catalina Island, especially at Two Harbors, which is like a tropical island paradise. What keeps me coming back, though, are the people I've met volunteering. We've got students and teachers, healthcare workers, law enforcement, NASA scientists, you name it. Just a fascinating group of people who I really enjoy hanging out with. So thank you for supporting Chamber Day and Catalina Hyperbaric Chamber in our very important mission.
Hi, my name is Brittany Singer. I'm a volunteer over at the USC Catalina Hyperbaric Chamber. I got involved with the chamber for the same reason a lot of other people do. I was looking for a way to give back to my local scuba diving community. And this seemed like the perfect way to do it. And a few weekends on Catalina Island sounded like a good time. But honestly, once I got involved with volunteering over there, I learned that it's so much more than that. Yes, we're giving back to our fellow scuba divers in the community, but so many more communities are touched with this hyperbaric chamber. I personally really enjoy all of the school tours that come over. Oftentimes, it's these children's first experience with the island and starting to learn about the ocean. We actually take them into the chamber and do a 1-foot drop. Though that doesn't sound like a lot, it's really exciting for them to get to do. So I think that it's great that we're teaching them that their math and science and physics classes that we're taking, how it can actually apply. And hopefully we're sparking the interest of, a new generation of ocean conservationists and scuba divers, and maybe getting them interested in hyperbaric medicines. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that is participating in Chamber Day and Chamber Eve and virtually again this year. This chamber couldn't keep going without everyone's support. And I just want to say thank you again, and to all of the communities that we are touching with this.
Thank you, Brittany. I forgot one piece of business. We have a blind bid winner, and we announce who it is. It is Lenny Ortiz, right in front of me here, from Signature Scuba.
Now it's time to say
no, not yet. Not time to say goodbye yet. We do have to, again, fairness and everything else. Now you guys are going to think, hey, Lenny owes me money. How can he afford it? He made a winning bid of $1,569 on a $2,200 dry suit. So Lenny, we'll get with you later on. We'll tell you what's what. All right. Now, we really do keep Carl in the dark about this stuff. He's got an inkling, but he don't know. You guys already saw what we did just in the challenge. Every time we come to this evening, I keep open, can we beat a record? The record, round numbers, is $181,000. We didn't do $181,000. We did a little more than that. We didn't do 185. Believe it or not, we didn't do 190. We came tantalizingly close, and you guys have set the bar for yourselves next year when I will be badgering you even more. But Mr. Huggins, if you would come up here now, on behalf of the entire scuba diving industry, yes, please get your cameras ready. We would like to present you with a check for $193,727. And just to be clear, applaud yourselves, because you guys are what makes this happen. Carl?
Wow. Thank you all very much. It's when I started this job in '92, I had got involved with the Chamber Day back then. It was pretty much the boats coming over the island and some of these little things coming up like the challenge, the Flying Dutchman, the evening event. And to think that we went from there to almost $200,000 for a single day event is just amazing. So thank you all. Like Ken said, thank you yourselves for participating and supporting the Chamber. And I just thank you. That's all I can think of right now.
I thought he was going to cry there for a second. Carl and I have a tradition that we have lunch the day after. So, Carl, can we go someplace nicer than Arby's tomorrow, maybe? All right, Carl, you need to set up the fishing pond. All right, here's what's happening. We have one more thing to go. It is the grand prize. Why do we save the grand prize for the end? So you don't leave. Thank you all for hanging in there. We know the evening ran a little longer than we normally have. Here's how it's going to work. Everybody who's here, your name was entered in the grand prize. It's computerized drawing. Those of you who got the VGD package, you received 2 extra entries. Everybody watching in our virtual thing, you got an entry. So we got something like 500 or 600 entries in here. 451. Even the baby got entered. So, you know, if the kid wins, we'll see what's going to happen. So what's going to happen here is we're going to call up, go ahead, put it up so they can see what it looks like. Ye Old Fishing Pond. And we probably won't have the sound because we're not getting sound out of Carl's computer, but normally it goes something like that. So here's what we're going to do is I'm just going to ask you guys to sort of shout out when you want to see this name pulled, and Carl will hit a button and that name will appear on that screen. So whenever you're ready, go ahead, Carl. Do it now. Going to Susan Bangasser, one of our virtual attendees. Susan, they're all booing you. I know Susan quite well. Susan is actually a former NAUI branch manager. She's been diving a long time. Susan's the winner of our grand prize. She's going to Atlantis, either Puerto Galera or Dumaguete. Susan, I'll be in touch. We'll tell you how that's all going to work. Everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. We do call it Scuba Prom. You lived up to it tonight. Remind you, next year the date is May 7th. Get your parking validated on the way out. Take your centerpieces with you. Pick up your t-shirts if you didn't already. Thank you all. Drive safely. Thank you for watching at home, and have a great evening on behalf of all of us here in the Chamber Evening Committee.
Why? Because we like